I'm joined in the studio this morning by Danai Magandi. She is from Shumiro Trust, and she's just going to give us a conversation, especially about cleft lip, which is a condition where children are born with that can be corrected. But she's just going to be talking to us about her trust and, you know, her story, what has inspired her and who she really is. Good morning to you, Danai.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Fantastic. We always call Tuesday Choose to be Awesome Tuesday. So you've got no choice but to be awesome. You just have to be awesome. You just have to be awesome. Right, Danai, tell us a bit about you and Shumiro Trust.
Okay, so my name is Danai Magandi. I'm a mother to 6 children, 5 who are here on earth, and the 6th is Shumiro.
Okay.
So Shumiro was born with a bilateral cleft lip and palate, meaning she had an opening at the front of her mouth and inside the palate. Unfortunately, she also had other medical conditions, and she lived for 4 months. So she passed away in September of 2019. And in my grief journey, I came to a point of asking God, what was the reason why she came? Mm-hmm. What was the purpose of her being here? And out of seeking purpose for my pain, a baby was born in 2020, and I was called as the first call. And that was my answer to my question.
Okay.
So I went in, spoke with the parents, started helping them how to feed their baby and things like that. Mm-hmm. And from there, I understood
the assignment
to do.
All right. Oh, that's fantastic that you turned your pain into purpose. I like that. Thank and through just your grief, going through that, I mean, how has the journey been in supporting parents who are in this situation?
Yes. So, yes, you know, in the grief, I think turning my grief into purpose and walking many journeys. I have walked journeys with so many parents, and really the reason is that I would love help to be there from point of birth for parents to know what to do with their children, how to take care of them, building up to operations and so on. And it's been a very fulfilling journey where I have seen so many children thriving, getting the help that they need, and seeing the change in the outlook that parents have for their children. Mm-hmm. Because, you know, unfortunately with our culture, when someone is different or a baby is different, they're shunned upon. Right. There's so much that is spoken and said. So really the goal is to get in and change that view. And I've seen parents who used to look at their child as a curse and turned and started looking at them as a blessing.
Wow, that's fantastic. And you've helped over 500 children since 2020 to date. And, you know, just in starting your organization, I know you said you started just going, a baby was born, and then you started talking to them, and then you formed this Shumiro Trust.
Yes.
Okay, what does Shumiro Trust do? Is it just counseling that you do, or do you organize operations, which you've mentioned in what you've just told us about? What is Shumiro Trust all about?
Okay, so the real purpose of Shumiro Trust is the psychosocial support, advocacy, education, and walking journeys with parents. So we don't organize operations per se, but we make sure parents know what is required for their child to get into the operation. I also speak a lot with the people who organize operations.
Right.
So we've also become more of a point place, where if operations are happening, I'm mobilizing parents, I'm letting them know that this is happening, our babies need to be so many kgs, they need to be healthy and so on, and then get them to go for the screening process and for the operations as well.
Okay. What are some of the misconceptions that have come with cleft lip? You know, I know you did mention that some parents don't understand and it can be traditionally deemed bad and all sorts. What clarity can you bring pertaining to cleft lip?
Okay. So, you know, a cleft lip or a cleft palate, it's just a congenital deformity, if you want to call it that. It happens in the stomach between 4 to 7 weeks of pregnancy, where someone does not even know they're pregnant yet. That's when it is formed. And so, you know, the misconceptions really have been, you know, someone has been bewitched.
Right.
You know, someone has been promiscuous. So that's why the baby has come out different. Wow. Someone has gone and in Shona, not Kuromba, you know, gone to look for stuff to get rich.
Yeah.
And now the baby is like this. And But the truth is that it's something that a parent doesn't really have control over. They can't
They don't know.
choose. Yes, they don't know. And especially, like I say, it happens really early in pregnancy. So you carry the pregnancy throughout with a baby who already has a cleft. And unfortunately, most of the times it's not even picked up when the scans are done.
Right.
It's only at point of birth where everybody is surprised. And sadly, because of those misconceptions, you find husbands leave their wives.
Right.
Sadly.
That was going to be my next question. That, like, I mean, you go and you speak to parents who are going through this. How difficult is it for, like, I just see the man is the one who's most difficult to accept a situation like this. In your journey and the people that you've counseled, how statistically have you seen this to be prevalent?
Oh. Statistically, it's a bit tricky to
Okay,
say.
okay.
But, you know, I have seen maybe 1 in 5 cases where, yeah, the husbands just refuse to...
He just says no.
Yes, to accept it. And it's not only him, but usually it's the family as well that's, you know, in the background that's saying, you know, we don't have such things in our bloodline, so this cannot be our child. But funny enough, when the baby is repaired, they look exactly like the family that has rejected
Yeah.
them, you know.
That's where I'm always saying God has a sense of humor.
Oh, yes.
You know? So,
He
you know,
does.
people always be like, oh, in fact, that is my child.
He does, he does.
So, you know, when it comes to your organization, how can individuals or sponsors or companies come on board to kind of rally behind your vision?
Okay. Oh, we would love the support, you know. So, you know, psychosocial support, I think in Zimbabwe, it's not really been understood that well. And I love that, you know, we are talking a lot about mental health. And really, that's the part we are trying to feed into, to say, you know, parents need to be able to accept their child for them to walk the journey. So we do meetings where we meet with parents, we do group meetings where people get to share their stories, people get to relate with others in a non-judgmental environment. So it would be great to have support for those meetings, and also whereby, you know, we're trying to help children in a journey. So there's risk of malnutrition and things like that. So even that support for milk, for porridge, and yes, just, you know, to be able to have these meetings more frequently and to give people a safe space to speak and talk about their stories. So it would be nice to get, you know, any kind of support, material, financially, to the trust. We would appreciate that.
Okay.
Yes.
Where do we find you if we want to support?
Okay, so physically no office, but I operate from my home.
Right.
Okay, but I can give my phone number.
Absolutely,
Is that
absolutely.
Okay, so my phone number is 0779 701144.
Okay. Say
Can
it
I say it again?
Yes.
0779 701144.
Okay. And do you have social media handles?
Yes.
Okay,
we
what are
do.
they?
So on Facebook, if you look for Shumiro Magandi Trust.
Okay.
And then on Instagram, if you look for cleft, I think _foundation Shumiro Trust, like that.
Okay, we find you on that, and that's how we can get information.
Yes.
So, you know, we talk about the large Zimbabwe,
Yes.
and you are here in Harare. Are you helping children in Harare only, or how have you kind of dispersed your resources throughout the whole country? Because I do know that, you know, children
They are
like
born
that are born
everywhere.
everywhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what I have is I have a big WhatsApp group
Okay.
that has parents from all over Zimbabwe.
Right.
And what has happened now is because parents know that the best way to get help is to communicate. And so what happens is when they meet anybody in their area that has a cleft, they're busy messaging me
Putting
or
them,
calling me
right.
and letting me know that there's a child out there. So we have parents everywhere. And like I said, you know, we want advocacy, we want education. So I'm always communicating with parents and letting them know what is a cleft, and, you know, to communicate with their communities. So in July, for example, we had a big campaign where we sent flyers around Zimbabwe.
Right.
So we would actually, you know, put them on a bus, and parents would go around in the communities and share the information with their neighbors. So people are aware. And I've seen out of that, we have a lot of phone
Traffic now
calls and
coming
people,
through. Yeah.
yes. looking and, you know, trying to get the help.
Okay.
So
I know
we're around.
Yeah, you are around her. I know you said you've got your home office and stuff. Do you work alone, or you've got a team that help you put this together?
Okay, so I do have trustees that support, but I also have volunteers.
All right.
So,
okay.
you know, most of the parents who have been helped come back and they want to help. So we've got a good team of volunteers who are willing and ready to jump and, you know, help.
Jump on board. Hey?
Yes.
It is a good cause, and it's lovely to put that smile on the face as well. So now, just before we close the show, do you want to say something inspiring to somebody who's going through that situation, and also maybe, you know, a call for help into your organization, because this is a good cause? You can address everyone at that camera over there.
Okay, thank you so much. So, you know, for a parent who has a baby with a cleft, what I want to say is hope is not lost. Your baby can get repaired, and all we need is to keep the faith, keep the hope, love this baby, you know, because that's the most important thing, and to know that there is help, and we are there to journey with you, to help you from whatever stage you are, to help you understand how to feed your baby, how to take care of your baby, all the way through until you get the operation. And anybody out there who wants to help, we are here. We would love your support financially, materially, you know, money to have meetings, food aid, you know, to help with the children, milk, porridge, and even for families, because I find a number of our families are from poor backgrounds, so they need the support, because what I've seen is a happy family has happy children.
Right.
And once you have that beginning stage right, the outcomes of operations are always better.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much, Danai, for joining us this morning and giving us a little bit of a brief awareness of cleft lip palate. And yeah, wish you all the best with your organization. And I do hope that sponsors will jump on board, because this is, as I said, a very good cause. I do know that there are some teams that come from abroad that do these operations for free. Yes. Are you also a part of that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do work with most of the teams that come from abroad. They know I exist.
Yeah, so they'll just call you, hey, we're in Zimbabwe
so
and we want to help.
Yes, and usually it's way before I know, so that I start making sure when I'm gathering and making sure everybody is ready for the operation.
Fantastic, Danai. Thank you so much for joining us on Morning Rush.
Thank you.